Very curious to know. Tell us about the promising practice or multiple practices that in your work of intersectionality that have emerged from your IRL project.
For me, I think about engaging with the community on the community's terms. When I think about our project through the lens of intersectionality, structural racism in general has caused a lot of harm to communities, often through academia. And then when you add on the LGBTQ plus community, that's another community that has been systematically either neglected or harmed by academia. And so we wanted to be very thoughtful about engaging with the community and not taking an extractive approach and not causing harm and really respecting any apprehension that might come. So that meant that we engaged with the community in the way that we like to engage with ourselves as a queer community. I would go to ballroom events. We met the staff at Boston Glass as a research team for the first time at one of our annual family dinner events that Boston Glass always hosts around the holidays to make youth feel at home. And then we started asking, what do people want us to study and what do they want the outcomes to be? So we asked staff members and some peer leaders who are young people who are also staff members, what should we research? What problems do you want this research to solve? What outcomes do you want to see? How should we ask you these questions? Like, what do you want to do interviews? Do you want to use your creativity? What would be really helpful? So when I think of a promising practice from this, I think about like really putting the community first, being accountable to the community in terms of what they want to see. And that has really shaped every aspect of our project. And that is part of how we know our project is actually going to be helpful to the community because it's what they asked for.
Thank you. Shova, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think, when Davine, when you were talking, it made me think of one of the most important, in my mind, promising practices from this work has been you having a role as an equal co-researcher, but also being a staff member at Glass when we started and being a member of the community that, of which youth are served. And I think, I've been doing community engaged research for, 18 years. And I have to say, one of my biggest worries is always, are we overstepping? Are we doing something inadvertently that will cause harm? Something like that. And I just feel like there's a built-in protection if you have somebody who just knows that world and is of the world. And I think especially for us, since you're that trusted practice person, it just allowed us to be more confident in what we were doing because we had, not that you can speak for everybody, but you can at least like start to vet. And then also people would feel open to say, hey, Davine, we're not good with this. And I think that to me really was different because in most projects that I've been part of, the academic team has more resources. They typically have more decision-making power, all these different things. Whereas this was set up of, we are all equal partners in this. And if it's a no-go for anybody, it's a no-go. And maybe that's also one of the promising practices. I know you and I had talked about, Davine, is this idea of taking time to just be like, who are you? How do you work? How do you communicate? And not that it went smoothly all the time by any means, but again, at least like sort of taking that time and also just starting the conversation. So if we did need to have a difficult conversation, we'd already started that path. And so it was easier to come to it. So I think, yeah, those are the things that really stuck out to me is just the structure of the program. Because we always say we want to like put practice first and community. This is a way to operationalize it. Just set it up so everybody gets the same number of dollars, same amount of decision-making power, all of it. That feels like a really clean way to do it. And also if somebody doesn't want to be part of that, that's okay too, but it's going to lead to a very different kind of project. And so I think the structure of it worked very well for us.